Hey guys, my name is Richard with High Tech Battery, and today we're going to be taking a look at the NOCO AX65 series jump starter. Now this is a lithium powered jump starter and tire inflator from NOCO. It's new as of 2025. The game plan for today is I'm going to cut the video into two parts. So the first part is going to be a top-down view on the AX65. We're going to take a look at the features and capabilities of it. I'm going to go over the LED display on here and how you can interact with it to get the jump starter to do what you want it to do, and go over all the different modes that it has. The second portion of the video will actually be the AX65 in action. We're going to be both jump starting a battery and also inflating a tire. The goal of the video is to give you an all-around feel and view of the AX65 and its different use cases to see if it's something worth your consideration or something in the ballpark for you. So without further ado here, let's go ahead and kick it off. All right guys, so this is our first look at the NOCO AX65 out of the box. This is a 2000 amp lithium jump starter and tire inflator. It's good for gas engines up to an 8 liter and diesel engines up to a 6 liter. Now it's designed for 12 volt batteries only, 12 volt lead acid batteries. It cannot do lithium and it cannot jumpstart 6 volt batteries at all. You have a tire compressor that lives right down here. It's good for up to 100 PSI, a max tire size of 35 inches, and it can inflate a tire from 0 to 40 PSI in just under 2 minutes. It has a dynamic dwell feature in there, which turns the unit on and off, so it can get very accurate with the PSI gauge and filling the tire up to the appropriate PSI level. Now the case itself, this is an all metal case. We have a flat matte finish right here, along with a powder coat finish on this side. Just taking a look at the jump starter, we have our NOCO logo here, more metal, very nice touch, along with an additional heat sink here, another logo on the side, and then here lives our 100 lumen LED light on the side. It has 7 different LED modes, including 3 different SOS modes for use. Here you have your 2 inputs and outputs. This first one is a USB-C. Now this only has a single USB-C port on it. The reason being it's a dual protocol port. You can both charge the jump starter through this port as well as take energy out of the jump starter through this port. So you can use this as a mobile battery bank to charge up a mobile device, phone, camera, etc., etc. And you can also put power into the jump starter right through this port here. Your second port is where your battery clamps are going to go. We'll show you those in a minute. On the side here, these 2 little pieces are for your air compressor. 2 different nozzles there, depending on what the application is. So if you're not filling up a tire, let's say you're filling up pool toys or balloons, those 2 adapters are going to come in handy for you. On the bottom, we've got more rubber. These 4 feet are all rubber. They're vibration resistant, so that way it's going to stick, whether it's to the hood of the car or whether it's on top of the tire. As you're using the air compressor, or if it's set at an angle, it will not fall off the vehicle, which is a nice touch. The cord on here, it is a braided cord, cut resistant, tear resistant. On the end, you have a very easy to connect to the tire stem here. I like that feature a lot. And flipping it over, let's take a look at the LED panel. Your power button lives right here. Turning that on, you'll go ahead and engage the jump starter. It's officially on now. Out of the box, you're going to come in at about 50% charge level. We can't really ship them any higher than that, so that's to be expected right out of the box. Hitting the up arrow will engage your PSI meter on here. The PSI has an auto memory feature, so let's just set it at 35, which is what my Chevy Silverado takes. If I go ahead and turn it on, or I'm sorry, turn it off and turn it on, hit the PSI, it will remember where it is. So you can go from tire to tire to tire to tire on the vehicle, and it'll remember the PSI from each tire. This is going to be for your flashlight on the side. You can go through all the settings here, which we'll go through. Again, 7 different settings, 3 of those are SOS settings. Engaging this will engage your air compressor. And it's an auto shut off feature, so once the desired PSI has been reached, the air compressor will shut itself down. You can also hold that button down and get into that manual air mode, which will just turn it straight on if you want to inflate some toys, etc. This button outlined in red here, this is your manual override button. You use this when the battery is too discharged in the vehicle for the jump starter to pick up on. It has a 3-volt cutoff level, so if your battery's below 3 volts, you won't get the trailing LED lights up here that indicate it's ready to go, ready to jumpstart. If that situation occurs, you can use the manual override feature by holding this button down for 5 seconds. It will turn off all the safety features and immediately engage the jump starter. That is a nice feature to use. I will say when you go into this mode, we'll go into more detail about this during the demonstration of the jump starter, you need to make sure you have the jump starter properly connected before you engage this mode. It does shut off reverse polarity protection along with a whole host of other safety features, so you really need to make sure that all of your ducks are in a row before you engage that mode. Now there's 4 LED indicators that are not lit up here because there's no issues with the jump starter yet, but I'm going to briefly describe each of those. The first one lives right here. That's a reverse polarity protection. If you hook up this thing backwards, it'll light up and show you, hey, you've got the positive on the negative, negative on the positive, please switch it. The second 2 are a cold LED and a hot LED indicator that live right here. That will tell you that the internal operating temperature is not correct for the unit. Either it's far too cold, below 4 degrees, or it's far too hot, above 120 degrees internally, and it can't be used. It's not a safe operating environment for the lithium battery. The fourth light is a LED air light. It'll blink a series of times. You just have to note how many times it blinks and then go to the manual to determine what that air code means. So, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the actual AX65 in action here. We're going to be hooking it up to a battery to jumpstart. These are the battery clamps. They are very stiff and very high quality. That is a copper feel to them. They're braided all the way down, which is very nice. Again, we've gotten some feedback on them being stiff, and that's okay. I want them to be stiff. I want the connection to be solid between the jump starter and the battery. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and hook this thing up and show you what it looks like in use. All right, guys, so we're going to show the NOCO AX65 in action here. I have a Chevy Silverado 1500. I'm going to go ahead and jump start the battery. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're going to be jump starting a battery, essentially. Right, I'm going to show you what the interface looks like on the jump starter, how to connect up the jump starter to the battery itself, and we'll run all the way through the process from start to finish. First thing you need to do is locate the battery in the vehicle. 99% of the time it's going to be on the hood. If you have some of the foreign vehicles, such as a BMW, the battery could be in the trunk. So that's the first thing you need to do is locate the battery. On the battery itself, we're going to be connecting the jump starter directly to the positive and negative terminals. If you see something like this red cap on top, that is the jump point, red cap with a plus symbol. You can go ahead and hook the positive right up to that. That means there's a fuse box sitting on top of your battery like you see here. And then I'll connect the negative right to the negative of the battery. Show you what it looks like. I have the jump starter here. I've already plugged in my battery clamps right to the side here. I'm going to go ahead and hook up the positive first. The jump starter's off. And then I'll hook up the negative. Now you can see here, you don't have a ton of cable, right? That's because it's trying to deliver as much power as possible. The longer the cable, the more power loss you get, so these are going to be short and sweet. Once you have it properly connected, go ahead and turn on the jump starter. You can do that by hitting the top button here. I know it's a little bright, but if you have it connected, you'll see the lights start to chase each other all the way through till you get the green and starts on over. That means that you're ready to jumpstart the vehicle. If for whatever reason it wasn't hooked up correctly, your lights wouldn't chase. You just get a battery indicator there on the internal state of this battery here, or you would get an air lights. One of the air lights would show up here, or even this would show up. Okay, so we have our chase there. Now let's say your battery was extremely dead. You weren't getting the chase, you know it's hooked up correctly. There's an override feature on here. Okay, to do that, I have to simulate the battery not being found, right? To do that, make sure your AX65 is properly connected, your connections are snug, everything is tight. You're going to hold down this exclamation mark here until you hear a click. And then it's in the override mode. This turns off all the safety features from the jump starter, so that's why I'm saying you need to have everything hooked up properly first. Double, triple check your positive and negative is good to go. Doing it in this will allow you to jump start battery that's at 0 volts. So if your battery can't be registered, it's so low in voltage, hitting the override mode is going to allow you to go ahead and try and jump start that battery. So for us, I don't need it, so I'm going to turn it off, hit that exclamation mark, let me hook it back up. All right, we got the chase, and then we're good to go. We can go try and start the vehicle. All right guys, now we're going to demonstrate the tire inflator portion of the video here. So the AX65 has a very powerful up to 100 PSI tire inflator in there. It can inflate a tire from 0 to 40 PSI in just about 2 minutes time. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to go ahead and get the job done. So first things first, we'll go ahead and uncoil the tire inflator portion. I'm going to turn the jump starter on, and then I'm going to hit the air button. And you can see here it's already set for 35 PSI, which I did in the very beginning of the video here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the tire, and it's going to tell me what the tire is sitting at. Okay. So you can see here the tire is sitting at 31 PSI. So to go ahead and actually start the tire inflator, now it's going to turn its... There you go. That's that dynamic 12 portion, along with the rain. So it'll turn itself on and off so it can get the highest possible, or the most accurate air pressure possible in the tire. So that's the air portion of this. Don't forget, you can also go ahead and hold down the air mode button, and it will just automatically turn the air compressor on for a couple minutes time. Okay? So that wraps up the AX65 portion of the video for us. Any questions? Let us know.